In today's dynamic job landscape, spending your entire career with the same company has become a thing of the past. We are constantly exploring new opportunities, and job changes have become a common part of our professional journeys. Welcome back, Spartans. In this video, we are going to delve into the question of when it is the right time to consider leaving your current job. So let's get started. To address this question, let's delve into what I will refer as driving factors or drivers throughout this video. While it is true that different individuals are motivated by distinct factors, I have identified over the years 5 key factors that hold significant sway irrespective of an individual's personality. Recognition, appreciation and rewards, personal growth and career advancement, positive relationships with colleagues and leadership, sense of purpose and meaning, and finally, autonomy. For some people, none of the above actually matters, as they are able to compartmentalize their work lives and disconnect from their bodies during the 9-to-5 grind. Time seems to pass swiftly, fueled by a combination of social media, coffee, cigarettes, and casual chats by the water cooler. Now take a moment to revisit the list I've provided before and consider how many of these drivers resonate with you or would if they were present in your workplace. As I mentioned in the previous video, where I introduced 2 powerful words for preventing team burnout, it is crucial to realize that burnout and low morale often stem from a misalignment between our actions and our values. We all have our unique core values that guide our decisions, and not everyone is willing to sacrifice those values for a paycheck. These values are the driving force behind the factors I discussed earlier. But enough mental masturbation, let's concentrate on the key question at hand, along with the 2 essential steps that you should take before making any decisions. Let's start with step number 1, take inventory of your drivers. How can you know it is time to leave if you can't pinpoint reasons to stay? And what are these reasons? If you have no idea what I'm talking about, chances are you have been drifting through life like a leaf in the wind. You have been letting external forces push you around, going wherever the wind blows. We all possess an inner compass that signals when we are on the right path and when we have veered off course. The mere fact that you have chosen to watch this video tells me that you are questioning things. You are wondering whether there is more to life than your current job. That feeling is there, but you might have not taken the time to understand why it is there. And to do that, you need to identify what are the drivers behind your decisions. Now take a few minutes or perhaps a few hours and jot down what is currently causing you discomfort at your workplace. Is it a demanding manager? Perhaps you feel undervalued. Or maybe someone is taking credit for your work. Now, once you have the list of things that you kind of dislike about your job, do the same thing, but this time for the things that you actually like and love about your job, such as the free lunch on Wednesday, and I'm guilty of that. Now, once you have these 2 lists, and let's call these 2 lists the list of pros and cons, it is time for you to match each of the elements of these lists to the original drivers that I mentioned at the beginning, the 5 drivers. And if you find that some of the aspects of your work that you wrote down on your list actually don't match any of these drivers, then you can come up with your own drivers, your own categories. And for inspiration, you can consider categories such as job security, work-life balance, perhaps challenging work, company culture, and even perks, such as the lunch on Wednesday. Now that you have a list of drivers and things that you value, it is time for you to rank them from the most important to the least important. The number of drivers is not really relevant, but you should aim for at least 3 to 5 drivers. Now, these drivers will serve as your benchmarks for evaluating what you value at the workplace moving forward. Now, if you want an example, my list consists of 4 points. The first one is personal growth and career development. The second one is recognition, appreciation, and rewards. The third one is autonomy. And finally, the fourth one is purpose and meaning. Your list is going to be different, but this is the list that I found to be the closest to my core values and to what I appreciate at the workplace. Now, to make this exercise even more effective, I recommend that you go back in time and revisit previous jobs, previous positions that you had, and you do the same exercise. It is true that over time, your interests, your values, and your drivers are going to change because perhaps at the beginning of your career you don't value money so much. You are more focused on the tech and on learning. But as you grow older and you have more responsibilities, money becomes more important. Regardless, you are definitely going to see a pattern because some values that we have and some drivers never really change regardless of how old we are. Hopefully by the end of this step, you are going to have your list of drivers. Step number 2, cost-benefit analysis. In an ideal world, your job would align perfectly with your values and drivers. However, being part of something bigger such as a company requires sacrifices from both parts, not only you, but also the company. Now the critical question is, which drivers are you willing to sacrifice? Now if you are paying attention since the beginning of this video, you probably remember that I have 4 drivers that work for me, that I've discovered over the years. Now let's assume an hypothetical workplace where I have the following pros and cons: recognition, appreciation and rewards, autonomy, purpose and meaning, and perks. Because as I mentioned, I am a sucker for free lunch. As for cons, there is only one con: lack of personal growth and career advancement. Now, if you remember from my initial list, this is actually the first driver, the most important driver for me. And in this case, this driver is actually missing in my current hypothetical company. What this means is that I will probably not be promoted anytime soon, which may be a problem if I want to progress in my career and perhaps even jump to a more relevant position in another company. Of course, this is only true in theory, but in practice, if you know what you are doing and if you are doing things properly, you are actually not going to struggle to get a better job in another company. But that is a conversation for another time. Now, even though I cannot find this driver in my current position, the impact of the remaining drivers overshadow the absence of this one. As an example, I have the freedom to manage my work and my team. I feel recognized and appreciated, and my work is meaningful because I'm in a leadership position, and being in this position helps me develop not only my leadership skills, but also my people skills. And for these reasons, I choose to stay, even though the original driver is not there. Now, as you stay in the industry longer and you become more experienced, you start realizing that even if one driver is missing, there is a way around it. Let's assume that you are the kind of person that really likes to know things. You read a lot of books, you take a lot of courses, and you really like when your company actually trains you. But at your current workplace, you cannot find this. There is no way for you to develop yourself in that way. There is no budget, there is no time, you have too much work, you have too much responsibility. Under such circumstances, it is possible to work around this. You can simply choose to take courses outside work, perhaps attend a boot camp. At the end of the day, in this specific example, education is something that you must take responsibility for, and you cannot expect someone to help you with that. You cannot expect your company to train you, even though it's a good to have. So just like this, you found a way around a driver that was missing in your current position. As cliche as this may sound, at the end of the day, it boils down to finding meaning in your challenges and opportunities in adversity. And don't worry, because I will talk about this topic again at some point in another video, but suffice it to say that a change in your mindset can make your life much less miserable at the workplace and at your career as a whole. And you will become a really important asset to any company and team, especially as a leader. And as we are nearing the end of this video, I'd like to leave you with a thought. A job is not just a job if you break it down into its components and areas. And these are people, money, technology, processes and culture, areas of expertise, and time. Now I can tell you with confidence that until you have reached your maximum potential in all of these areas, at your current workplace, there is always room for learning and growth. Learn to tap into all the resources that your company offers before deciding to move on. And if you are really confused right now about this idea, this thought that I just left you with, these concepts, these areas, stay tuned because I'm going to record another video on this. It's a really powerful concept, and once you hear about it and once you understand it, you are going to start looking at your current position, at your career, at your company in a totally different way. And all good things come to an end, and this video is no different. Leaving a job is the kind of decision that requires deep reflection. A toxic boss or being underpaid are sometimes enough to trigger a knee-jerk reaction that leads us to leave. However, each job has a lot of potential that is wasted more often than not because of a rash decision. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video and how I can improve my content. As you know, I am always open to feedback. Until next time, stay safe, stay paranoid.